Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to the Nation Outside Season Change podcast. My name is Cam.
What up, though? My name's T Mac.
What up, though? My name Jerry.
How you doing today, Jerry?
Hey, man, I'm all right.
Um, we are here with Jerry, one of the few of many peers. Now we done had assistant since we came home, since he came home. So, Jerry, I just want you to start off. Just tell us a little bit about yourself, where you come from, just your backstory.
Well, I was born and raised on the east side of Detroit. Um,
We're going to forgive you for that, but go ahead.
yeah,
That wasn't your fault. Go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah. I was just telling my partner T Mac a little while ago. I was kind of reckless, back in the day. You know, this retarded kind of sort of. You know what I mean? And it landed me in prison. That's how I met these guys coming home.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about like the first time you heard about Nation Outside, kind of what you thought we was,
Yeah,
and kind of like what actually we were when we got hooked up with you.
yeah. Well, I seen y'all uh,
Flyer?
flyer in MTU.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, man, they got resources and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I give them a shot. Most of the time, the resources they don't be hitting on nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So what happened was my counselor actually called for me when I was doing my parole stuff,
Yeah.
and they hooked me up with I don't remember the guy name, and
Was it Kenneth?
I think it might have been
Yeah.
the kind of
Yeah.
heavy set
Yeah.
light skin guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they hooked me up with him, and he said just let me know when y'all came home when I come home,
Mm-hmm.
right? So when I come home, I talked to him, and
Okay.
then that's when he hooked me up with Charles.
Yeah.
And Charles showed me a lot of love. Charles looked out for me, man.
So
Yeah,
you got part of the Tippler program,
yeah,
Trauma Informed Peer Led Reentry. Charles was your navigator.
yeah, absolutely.
And tell me about your first encounter with Charles. How was that?
It was kind of you know how it is, and when you two guys first meet each other, like he said, yeah, I ain't been too long. Come home myself. I said, where was you at? He said, I was in Bellamy Creek. I said, you was in Bellamy Creek? Yeah, I was in Bellamy Creek. Where you using Bellamy Creek?
Right,
You know what
right,
I mean?
right.
So we hit it off real quick. You know what I mean? Cause he was in 2 block. I
Uh
was in
huh.
3 block.
Yeah, I was in Bellamy Creek too for a minute.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I was in 7, 3 and 7.
What's level four Bellamy Creek? Uh,
4.
that's where I was at level
Yeah, that's where I
block
started
four.
out at,
Uh huh.
and then I moved over to 7. I was in Bellamy Creek level 4 for about maybe a little over a year,
Yeah.
and then they moved me to 7. Yeah, yeah,
So you meet the brother Charles.
yeah,
Day
yeah,
one, y'all filling each other out a little bit.
yeah, yeah,
What
yeah.
was some of the first things you needed when you came home, and how, if any, did Charles help you get that stuff together?
I needed everything when I first came home. You know,
Hmm.
I got a picture of me and Charles. I just showed it to them a little while ago of me coming with the bag. Remember the suit that I had on?
Yeah, yeah.
He took me to get a suit and took me to get some
I think we went to Catholic
clothes.
Charities.
Yeah, yeah. Took me to get some groceries. He hooked me up where I could go get, the government stuff. You know,
You
Yeah,
get
went down.
DHS,
yeah.
yeah.
I still got I'm still wearing the jackets that I went and got for him. Most of the stuff was new that he got for me. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You can see me walking with the bag, Charles, next to me. He hooked me up. He took me everywhere, bro. Look, when I didn't have a car when I first started, he would come pick me up. You know what I mean? Help me fill out applications. Take me around the job interviews.
Yeah.
I mean, Charles did the damn thing. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I'm
He
I'm I'm
looked out
happy
for
to
me.
hear that.
Yeah, yeah,
I want you to go more and tell of since we've helped you, where you at now.
wow, wow, man. I didn't grow. We were just talking about that. I couldn't even work the phone when the phone was ringing. I said, Charles, how you answer this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He had to help me like fill out stuff on the phone.
How long do you do?
22 flat.
Okay.
And how long you been home?
20. I'll be off of parole in 84 days. So I've
Oh,
been
let's
home.
clap that out.
Yeah, yeah,
Let's
yeah,
clap
yeah,
that
Shout out,
out.
my
yeah,
man.
yeah, 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 yeah. I've been home what 22 months, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Flew by, huh?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Ain't been doing too bad. I've been working ever since.
That's
You
good.
know,
That's
I
good.
just
What else
guess.
going on outside of work?
Got married.
Yeah,
Hey,
Mary.
Yeah,
Hey.
got married, man, and fortunately lost my mom
Hmm.
a few months ago, but I was home. It's crazy because the day she passed, well, the day after she passed, I just got 18 months in.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was able to spend 18 months with my mom, bro.
That's
You know
good
what I mean?
stuff.
Yeah,
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 That's good
yeah, yeah.
stuff.
yeah.
And I came home. I moved her from Moran on 6 Mile and Coney to
Mm-hmm.
Roseville. Came home, sold the house. You know what I mean? Went to work, literally, strictly for my mom. The first 4 months was all about my mom, and Charles was there with me.
That's what's
No,
up.
That's
mom,
so.
no Charles. He all in the, and I went and got a laptop,
Uh-huh.
and we in the kitchen, man. And Charles, y'all got a Wi-Fi? I think so. Yeah, me and Charles went in and hooked the computer over the Wi-Fi. We go in the kitchen and put in for a lot of jobs.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
How long did it take you to get a job?
Yeah, about 3 months.
About 3 months.
I probably could have did it faster had I not been so concerned with my mom.
Hmm.
Trying to get my mom from out
That's
of the
top priority though. You
yeah,
gotta
yeah,
build and bond with your mom.
yeah, because she was standing in the house. It had like mold um, in the den, mold in the bathroom. The kitchen was falling in. You
Mm.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I came home, went to work, got her together, and got me together.
As you should, as you
Yeah,
should.
yeah, yeah. I've been working ever since. Same job.
So tell me, all the barriers that you faced when you came home, had you not ran into Nation Outside in Charles, how do you think it would have been different?
Yeah, it'd have been a whole lot different because Charles kind of like guided me. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? He was kind of sort of like a mentor.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jay, we're gonna do it this way, man. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Let's try it like this. You know what I mean? He helped me out a lot, for real, for real.
That's
So
good. That's good.
Charles, my guy. That's why I'm here right now. Yeah,
What
T Mac.
what
No doubt.
would you what information or support you would say you needed that you got?
mm, Basically, like, um, I want to say technology because I did 22 years. I miss all the technology, man, and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely a huge barrier
Yeah,
there.
very much so. I would recommend that they try to teach them guys in prison some type of how to work a phone or computers and stuff like that because stuff done changed, man.
A whole lot.
Yeah, I'm telling you, if it don't be for Charles, a lot of stuff, Charles and my kids, I've been lost. You
Did
know
you
what I
think
mean?
it did you feel it did it make you more comfortable talking and communicating with a person who had similar experiences as you? Like y'all both walked a similar path. He kind of knew kind of what you've been through on his own personal level because everybody walked different, right?
Right.
But the fact that we got that shared lived experience,
Yeah.
do you think that was more effective, or do you think it would have been more effective to work with somebody who had never been incarcerated before?
Definitely with somebody that's know where I've been, know my story. You know what I mean? It's a whole
Hmm.
lot simpler because we got the same lingo. You know what I mean? We can communicate a whole lot better than because he understand where I been and I
No doubt.
understand where he been. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And it's
100.
easier to deal with somebody like that versus somebody that haven't been where I've been. I did 22 years,
Yeah, definitely.
so
You
I
definitely need somebody to assist and understand.
yeah,
It may definitely make it easier for you.
facts.
So, I will ask you this: if you can describe Nation Outside in one word, what would that word be for you?
Outstanding.
Okay.
We take outstanding every day now.
Outstanding. Yeah, yeah. The love, man. The love is there, bro.
I'm glad you feel it and you see it.
Yeah, they took me out on picnics and everything. T Mac even took me out to breakfast a couple of
Hey,
times.
hey, listen. First
Yeah.
time I took you out to breakfast, I thought you ain't ate in 22
Man, look
years.
at here. I ain't nothing like that in 22 years. Yeah, it was cool.
No, but if so, we always looking to improve. We always looking to um, reach back and get other people prepared to come home, right?
Hmm.
Is there anything that you wish Nation Outside could have helped you with that they didn't help you with? Or if somebody inside was listening to this podcast
Hmm.
and you had to kind of give them some advice, somebody about to come home in the next 30 days,
Hmm.
what would you tell them to look forward to? Somebody else that did 22 years.
Well, like I said once before, man, the technology side of it, man, it's like when you did 22 years, see, they're not letting them boys in there, get use the phones,
Hmm.
get on the computer and Google and all that old type of stuff. You know what I mean? I would tell them like it, like they told me, Google and YouTube gonna be your best friend,
Yep.
literally.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So yeah, I would tell them like if y'all can help them guys, um, with the technology.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But dealing with you guys, I would tell them to reach out to y'all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because y'all were genuine for real, for real.
Any, any, I don't want to say problems, but anything that kind of shocked you about like family reunification, getting back with your family, any barriers getting back with your loved ones when you came home?
Yeah, yeah. My sisters, my nephews, they all kind of like, especially the ones that really didn't know me, like my nephews that
Yeah,
was
they
younger
probably
than
weren't
me.
even born
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
before you got locked up.
yeah. You know what I mean? They
Hmm.
was kind of sticking their chest out. I had to turn the other cheek quite a few times.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Walk away, you know, because like I say, they challenged me a few times. They fought me on not fight, but
Right.
they just fought me on with my mom.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they had been dealing with her for so many years, right? And when I came home, and I kind of took over. I'm her only son, but
Rightfully so.
yeah, I took over, and a lot of them they didn't like that, and they showed it. You know what I mean? But me being the man that I am, get out the way. This is my mom. Love my mom, bro. You know, Charles was there.
Huh.
Yeah,
Charles was there then
yeah,
too,
yeah,
huh?
yeah, yeah. They love my family. Love Charles.
What kind of advice he gave you when you had those difficulties and the difficult conversations with your nephews and all that good stuff?
Just stay calm, man. Stay peaceful, man. If need be, walk away.
Okay. So for anybody listening, what imparting words you want to leave on
As far as prison wise, or just people in general,
them? Both.
I would say, the prison guys, man. Get some education. You know what I mean? Learn something. And then like just regular people. Mm, when guys coming home, especially guys that did as much time as me, you know, it's difficult learning to deal with people. You know what I mean? Especially with women with all the emotions. You know what I mean? So we didn't deal in emotions like that. So I would tell guys, to figure out how to humble yourself.
Grace and mercy.
Absolutely,
Grace and mercy. Okay.
absolutely.
Last thing. Tell me the coolest thing you experienced or did since you've been home.
Mm, I married my wife.
Good answer. That's a good answer. Hey, you got that on wax too. Now you can show her
Absolutely,
like,
yes,
yeah.
sir. I married my wife.
So
Love you, baby.
we want to thank you. Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Thank you for imparting us with your story.
All right,
We
bro.
appreciate you. Tamir, you got anything you want to add?
No, man, I just want to say from a person that, got lived experience itself, I'm proud of you. I seen you when you came out and where you was at.
Yeah,
And I see you now, put all smiles on my face.
yeah, yeah.
Take all the credit in the world because those resources that we had or that we linked you with,
Mhm,
you had to be willing to go uh, take advantage of those resources,
mhm,
right?
mhm,
You have to be willing to be humble enough to ask for help. And you
mhm,
have to be consistent and diligent enough to see that process through.
mhm.
So when you finally get those parole papers, make sure you hit me up so
For
we can go
sure.
get another breakfast.
That
All
work.
right, my
That
man.
work, D man. I'm
Yes,
definitely
sir.
gonna do that.
Yes, sir.
Man, y'all been great, bro.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, my
Appreciate it.
man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right. So once again, this is Nation Outside Season Change podcast. We'll see y'all soon.